What's crazy is I wasn't even on call that night. The report was made the early morning hours of October 3rd, and that there was a woman had gone missing. It actually did not come back to the detective section that day. I personally was not advised of it. So I'm on my way home from work, and my wife calls me. She didn't know the missing woman necessarily, but she knew a person who knew her. So she called me and she was like, hey, what's going on with this missing lady? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, there's a missing woman in Riverside. And I'm like, I haven't heard anything about this. Apparently it had been relayed to a different detective or whatever, but it never made its way to me. So I got a little bit curious and I started making some phone calls, and lo and behold, that there was in fact a reported missing person. Now, in fairness to everybody, and you know this better than anybody, people get reported missing all the time.
Sure.
And 99.9 times they come home that day or they're blowing off some steam or whatever. So just because a missing person comes across your desk doesn't necessarily mean that it's like going to become this huge investigation. This one obviously did. So won't name any names, but there was a person on call who the on-call detective was at that time, and I called and advised that person of the situation, and that person pretty much told me, what do you want me to do about it? So I said, okay, that's the attitude that you're going to have. I'll investigate this case. So this wasn't even supposed to be my case. And, lucky for me, it became that. But I volunteered for it because I said, if said person's going to have that attitude, then I'm going to give this family the best investigation that they could possibly get.
I think you said it right, but you take a lot of calls, or at least, in my days, we took a lot of calls of adults missing, right? Mm-hmm. And like you said, oftentimes they're found. Now, if it's a kid, it's a little bit different, right? Especially, like, look, kid was supposed to be home at 6 o'clock from school. He usually gets dropped off at the bus. They didn't make it home. The school doesn't know where they're at. None of their friends know where they're at. Like, that's a completely different case than saying, you know what, my wife went to the grocery this morning and she hasn't came back yet. Well, what's she doing, right?
Yep.
That's a completely different type of case. But it sounds like something was different about this when you start hearing about it. Like,